Is that working? Okay, give me 1 second because my main mic is not showing up. Sorry, guys. Give me 1 second here. How is my audio on this microphone? It's not like the main studio mic, but it's good. All right. Okay, sorry everyone. Give me 1 second here as we get plugged in. All right, we'll continue with this for now. If you guys have any audio issues in the chat, just let me know. All right, good morning, everybody. Take two. So we have got a really busy week ahead. Jackson Hole being like the main event of the evening, right? So that's going to be on Friday, but we do have a lot of news coming out today as well. Not all of it is going to be necessarily, as high impact as others, but let's run it. So the first thing I like to do, guys, is I love to pull up the Market AI terminal here. I love to pull up Ask Market and just run the morning brief prompt, right? So it's a pre-programmed prompt. The three major markets I watch: ES, gold, NQ, also crude, but I'm focused more, I'd say, this week on assets like equity index futures or the CFD if that's what you're trading. It's all good, and gold as well, of course. So starting off with the S&Ps, sentiment is overall bullish, right? That's what the AI is saying. We have a target at 77.50, pullback level down here at 76.35. Now, here's like the thing. We've been trading in a 3-day balancing range. And for you guys that have been following some of what I've talked about before, you know that in a balancing range, we have market conditions that favor both buyers and sellers. Favors buyers at the bottom of the range, favors sellers at the top of the range. So that's something that we're going to be taking a closer look at when we go into charts. Now, in terms of overnight shift, what we've seen is the Iran and Oman deal on Hormuz. Naval shares dropped oil sharply early, lifting futures, but the IRGC's latest close unless threat caps the relief. So we've seen ES get capped near that resistance level as a result. Gold going to be similar to an extent. We've had a more bullish run, obviously, in gold, but with gold, we've had now balancing over several hours as well. Now we can see that we have a clear balancing range there as well. And when we get into the technicals, we're going to be able to take a closer look at some key levels and zones related to gold also. NQ going to be very, very similar to ES as far as the macro fundamentals go. Now, what we want to do is take a look. We haven't had, like, I'd say, any like super serious breaking news overnight, so we can skip the headlines for now. That's the morning brief in a nutshell. We're just going to close Ask Market and focus on the economic calendar for today. So today we've got core PCE price index coming in, a whole bunch of news coming in at 8:30 a.m. Eastern. Now, I don't think this news is going to be all that high impactful, at least as far as PCE goes. Even the GDP estimate is not necessarily going to be extremely high impact for the market. Do we want to keep an eye on stuff like this? Durable goods, initial jobless claims? Absolutely. I'd say the initial jobless claims is probably the one to watch, especially as we're going to have, of course, the big time labor report coming out in September, NFP. Now, this news could help set the stage potentially for the session, even though I don't expect the reaction to be intense. We still want to take a look at what the min and max ranges are. And this is what sets our economic calendar apart from everything else in the business. There's no other economic calendar that actually tells you how to trade these events. So for instance, if we go into, sorry, the initial jobless claims are on Thursday. I misspoke there. So if we go into, for example, core PCE today, we can see that there's going to be a min and a max range. If we get a reading that enters into the minimum or maximum ranges, that's where we're going to have an opportunity to have a lot of fun with trading today, potentially. Something that's an outlier reading. Anything that's in that middle range is not going to affect the market too much, either in the short term or for the remainder of the day. We might get an initial surge and then we retrace that surge, the typical type of news reaction that you're used to seeing over and over and over again. So we're going to be obviously keeping an eye on these news events in 20 minutes. when the data starts to come out. But overall, my expectations for how they're going to impact the trading day are still fairly muted. Now, next, this is not stuff that necessarily changes overnight, but I do want to go over it with you guys so you can understand where we are as we're heading into Jackson Hole. So as we're heading into Jackson Hole, we can see that inflation has kind of peaked. It's on the way down. We saw inflation peak in May, and currently it's coming down. It's at 3.4%, down from a peak of 4.2%. This gives the Fed a lot of room to breathe. You know, we can see that core PC also peaked in May at 4.10, currently at 3.7, PPI moderating as well. We can see that the unemployment rate, on the other hand, has been ticking down. So the job market's been supported. Non-farm payrolls reports have been falling down as well. So that tells us, that there are less jobs being created. So there are some mixed things overall here, but it really looks like the Fed is laser focused on inflation with their messaging, and that's what the broader market is concerned about as well. So all the data right now points to the Fed having a lot more breathing room than they originally might have communicated to the market. And that's most evident when we go to our interest rate tracker. So when we go to our interest rate tracker, it's overwhelmingly now 67.5% chance, not overwhelmingly, but it's well over a 50% coin flip that we're not going to have a change in any interest rates heading into September. That is very different messaging from, several weeks ago when a rate hike in September was all but a guarantee, right? So what happens in September on that next interest rate decision is going to be pivotal. But if the data continues to trend in the direction that shows the market that the Fed has room to breathe and doesn't necessarily need to cut rates, we're going to be in a good position for risk assets. All right, now the final thing that I want to show you guys is the Trump tracker. Basically, it's going to give us a risk score in terms of unexpected comments coming from the president's office. And we can see that he's got a schedule here. And today's schedule is dominated by routine, closed press White House events, executive time, intelligence briefing. So it's a moderate risk, but not off the charts high as well, but obviously something that we want to keep an eye on as far as news goes. Now, breaking news, we're just seeing the same back and forth. IRGC spokesperson half an hour ago saying the strait to remain closed unless U.S. meets conditions, et cetera, et cetera. It's crazy to think that a year ago this would have been like, oh my goodness, what's going on with the world? And today it's just like this routine thing. So that is the fundamental backdrop for gold, for ES, NQ. We're going to take a look at a couple other markets as well. I'd love to pull up oil also. Let me just see if I have it in this list here. I'm actually going to pull up the oil ETF that I primarily trade, which is XLE. We can see that with XLE, we had a nice run up and we're now pulling back a little bit here as well. So what I love with the XLE ETF is that, to me, it's just a much cleaner way to play oil than trading crude oil futures directly, which I don't like to use the M word, manipulation word, a lot, but I believe that the crude oil futures market has had some games being played with it. And I think the ETFs have just made for a much cleaner way to express a view on oil. So what I'm very curious about is how much deeper into this range do we go for XLE specifically. I'm looking for a pullback potentially to $60.50 and potentially down to 57.53. Break below there, I'd be looking at the bottom of the range. All right, so just quick primer there. Gold, equity index futures, oil. Let's hit the charts. Got 15 minutes before that news comes out. And if there's a market you want me to take a look at, just drop it in the chat. Happy to take a peek. If you guys want to talk some crypto, we can talk some crypto as well. So I already did a review for myself and a few other traders this morning on ES. ES to me looks like a layup of a trade today. I love the price action setting up in ES, and I'll explain why. Okay, what we have in ES is a multi-week balancing range that we broke out of, right? And if I just profile the range through to the current market top, you can see with these dashed red lines, the value area high and value area low of that range. That is everything inside of this range. That's where the market considered fair value to be found previously. Now, is it possible that we pull back to that range, especially given all the economic news events and Jackson Hole coming up. 100%. Also, Sterling Aussie, I see you. We'll take a look at Sterling Oz in a second. And I've not looked at FX crosses in a minute, but that is a fire currency pair to be trading. Lots of volatility. So we'll take a look for sure. Now, with ES, one of the scenarios I favor is rotation back towards value. What I'm not excited about is the prospect of trading well into the value area. So well below the value area high, which on the CFD product comes in around 75.53. If we fall below that into this range, it's going to be really, really annoying, and we could potentially see rotation back to 7,300. If, however, we come here, repel from value, which would indicate that this uptrend is still alive, we're going to have some fun times in our hands. I think markets are going to be a lot easier to trade, at least equity index futures. Now, the reason I think today is a bit of a layup day for ES, not an exciting day, just an easier trading day, in my humble opinion, is because we have now a 3-day balancing range. Okay, so we can see that this day here, we were one time framing down. And guys, if you're not sure what one time framing down means, in my book, that is when we have a candle, and it can be on any time frame, that makes a lower low, lower high, and a lower close. Crucially, the close has to be below the low of the previous candle. So we meet that criteria. Here you can see that we are not continuing that trend of one time framing down. In fact, we have a 3-day balancing range so far. When we have balance, what we're going to get is a value area for that balance. We're going to get a value area high and a value area low. And when we have balance, what I want to see is the market struggle to break through the value area high and struggle to break through the value area low. Very, very straightforward, very simple. So for me, the best trades when we're in balance will be to identify the so-called edges of value. I want to identify the value area high. I want to identify the value area low, and that's where I want to look for trades. Now, crucially, to escape balance, what we need to see is what the market attempted to do here, which is trade sideways above or below here, above or below the value area. What I then need to see is a breakout outside of that balance. That's what, to me, will confirm that we're able to escape this quicksand of price and start auctioning higher or start auctioning lower. So you can see here that we built value, we built value, we built value, we built value, but we did not get the final piece, which is the actual breakout. Okay, so do not get sucked into a trap of just buying the high or selling the low. You want like the cheat code to improve your trading, I don't know, by like 1,000,000% starting today. Do not buy the high, do not sell the low. So in other words, if the market is trading here, do not FOMO into it, wait for a pullback. If the market is trading here, do not FOMO into it and sell the low, wait for a pullback. Do not buy highs, do not sell lows. You will improve your trading tremendously just by following that very simple technical framework. So for ES, that's what I'm looking at. NQ is going to be interesting as well, because you can see we've been steadily one time framing down. The difference between NQ and ES is that we have never left this balancing region, right? So we're still kind of stuck in it. For that reason, NQ is actually not as interesting to me as ES. But on Monday, we did one time frame down, and then Tuesday we're in balance. So we'll have to see what happens so far today. When I take a look at Tuesday's value area, or just pulling up the cash session profile right here, we can see that was a pretty balanced area here as well. So what I favor in NQ is we need to break, and this is the CFD, guys. We need to break above 29,202 in the CFD, which is basically the value area of Tuesday's cash session. But we can see this entire area is pretty messy. We can see that sellers were unable to keep the market below here, and buyers have not had any luck pushing above Friday's point of control or Friday's value area. If I wanted to combine this entire bit of price into one bigger profile, we can see very clearly where the boundary lines are. So looking for failure or exhaustion around 29,320, and looking for potential failure or exhaustion right around 29,100. Okay, next up is gold. Then we're going to take a look at sterling Oz. So taking a look at gold, man, last time I was with you guys was last Wednesday, and I was saying, wait for the pullback. I want to see the market break out of this bouncing range, go higher, wait for the pullback, and then you have an easy layup of a trade. So the market built value, right? You can see how these concepts are so simple to follow. The market broke out, built value above, broke out again. Anywhere on that pullback, fantastic opportunities to start getting long. Look at how these volume profiles work. If I draw a profile from the low, from the swing low to roughly the swing high there, you can see where the market's going to pull back into is within the value area. Within the value area, where are we going to be drawn to? We're going to be drawn to higher volume nodes within that value area, right? So you can see how the market stalled sideways, dropped. Where did it drop to? To this high volume node. And that's where we found buyers and started to rally up again. Okay, so very straightforward. Markets will follow this pattern all the time. The key is to have the patience to be able to wait for those technical conditions to line up. What do you actually use to get into the trade, to pull the trigger? To me, location is everything. You find the right locations, the entry trigger doesn't matter. It could be a fair value gap. It could be an order block. It could be a moving average cost over. It could be looking at the order flow. It could be anything. At the right location, it doesn't matter what your entry trigger is. The market is going to do what it's going to do anyway. So the whole purpose of the entry trigger is something that you can visually recognize as being easy to spot, that you don't have to hesitate to pull the trigger when you see it. That's the best entry trigger. All right, next up, we'll look at sterling Oz. I'm actually going to pull up sterling Oz here in market because it has been a minute since I've looked at both of those currencies together. Hey, good morning. Good morning. All right, let's see what the fundamentals are here. So the bias on sterling Oz is bullish. Why is it bullish? Elevated oil prices, Middle East tensions support the sterling over the Oz. Okay, that's fair, as the Aussie dollar could be is risk on. Cash rate, so the Australian central bank's cash rate is stuck at 4.35%. That could potentially dampen the upside. I would argue, okay, personally, that I think the fundamentals in this currency pair are fairly mixed and don't necessarily favor, one or the other. Let me just take a look at what we're looking at as far as like RBA. So RBA is all the way out in November. Let's see, when is the Bank of England? Bank of England's in November as well with no change. Let's take a look at our interest rate trackers for the UK. So UK currently no change. If anything, odds favor a slight increase, but really no change. Australia, if anything, odds favor an increase. Okay, all right, that's fair enough. I'd say that the fundamentals here look fairly murky from the perspective of really having a hard time here. What I would then look at as far as this currency pair on the fundamental side goes is the Australian dollar, of course, being a fantastic proxy for China. So taking a look at China health might be the way to play this. When I'm looking at this price chart, sterling Oz, this does not look very bullish, does it? In fact, it looks almost like we had a rally back up to this high. We built, what did we do technically? We built value. We broke down out of value, came back to retest, and now we're breaking down again, but it's kind of slow motion. It's kind of a slow motion decline. So let's do a quick top-down analysis, at least technically. On the monthly time frame, what we have here is balance, right? Many months of balance. Bro, Slayer, 1877. This could be a very messy currency pair to trade after all. I don't know about day trading. I've mostly swing traded currencies, but this would be like the value area for that balance. And if you have a downside target, I'd be looking at 187,976, something along those lines. That seems pretty clear to me. But we've been one time framing down on the monthlies. reason we're sticking here is very obvious. This is where we paused previously in 2023, 2024. Monthlies, though, were in balance, rejecting the value area high. Weeklies were one time framing down. Daily timeframes were one time framing down. To me, I'd be looking to short sterling Oz on pullbacks. That, like, technically, it's as simple as that. Be looking to short on pullbacks. Now, if I take a look at like China ETF, let's see. Let's see what the Shanghai Composite Index would look like. It's been a minute since I've looked at China, and there's other ETFs we can look at too, like the Emerging Markets ETF. But this is interesting, right? We have all these lows that we've been struggling to break down against, but we are stuck in a range. So the Shanghai Composite doesn't really tell me too much. The Emerging Markets ETF, as you could expect, still looks pretty bullish. Yeah, I'd say combination of the macro, looking at risk on assets overall, seeing the Aussie as a proxy for China, seeing China starting to rebound. I like sterling Oz lower based on the fundamentals, although to me the technicals are a little bit not a little bit. The technicals are very convincing to look for further downside. Okay, so that's my quick read on sterling Oz. If you have any other markets you want me to take a look at, let me know. We've got 3 minutes now just before the news. So as we're getting ready for the news, let's just take a look and see if there are any other breaking news or high impact events coming out. No, not really. Nothing since then. So we'll just go over the calendar and get ready for these news events. From a short-term perspective, though, let's take a look at gold. So trading sideways here. Gold, we have a balancing range as well over the last couple of days. So on Tuesday, we stopped one time framing up. So this would be our balancing range so far in gold. And we're at the value area low. That favors upside in gold to me. I'm just going to extend this profile a little bit further to the left to cover that consolidation. But yeah, this favors upside in gold to me. Obviously, we have resistance around 46.40, but provided we can break out of that, then I see a pretty straightforward move back to the value area high, at least around 46.60. Critically, you want this base here to hold, and you don't want to see price trade below 46.14. Right, that's what I'd be looking for. Dollar, I mean, we've just been ranging here in the dollar. It's one of the reasons I'm not like crazy excited about FX right now. I think that drop was the most recent good move in the dollar, and now we have to wait for this to consolidate and probably build out a bit of a longer base before we get another directional move. But yeah, fundamentally still quite bearish on the dollar indeed. All right, we've got that news coming out. Let's take a look. Under a minute now. What does everybody in the chat trade, by the way? That's my bad. I should have asked you guys what markets you trade. It's not all about me in the morning. All right, news coming out. Let's see if there's anything that's up. Okay, so durable goods higher than expected. PCE slightly higher. Core PCE totally in line. Durable goods, I mean, slightly higher. I think that would be in the closer to the max range in durable goods. Yeah, just on the very edge of it. Nothing super exciting from this news. As we can see gold's having a slightly negative reaction here. But again, I want to see if this base holds. That would be not the worst trading op in the world if we see this hold as the dust settles from the news event. If this base doesn't hold, then I'd say I'm not interested in gold longs until we start starting to sweep below some of these lows and then come back up above them. Look at that. Look at ES having a picture perfect. You see how these zones work, guys? We have a picture perfect reaction off that value area high. Right? It's not a crystal ball. It's not magic. It's just marking out where buyers and sellers see fair value. NASDAQ, you can see we're pressuring the value area low. Gold majors, cross pairs, and NQ. Yeah. For me, I like FX very selectively. There has to be like a real news event, news catalyst for FX to get interesting to me on a day trading basis. Swing trading, I think FX is awesome, especially if you pair it with fundamentals, because the fundamentals, aka what the central banks are going to be doing for a long period of time, is the perfect guide for swing trading Forex. So what I'm curious about here with NQ, by the way, is are we going to hold below the value area low, or is this going to be a trap and we'll spring back above? I favor that we'll probably continue trading a little bit lower than NQ, because if you look at ES has a lot more room to go towards its own value area low. Now the overnight value area low is right here, however. So we'll have to wait and see with equity index futures, but I wouldn't be shocked if we have a little bit lower to go. Gold, let's see it hold. I don't care, by the way, if we tick through a level. For me, it's about value. Do we hold below a level? Do we hold below a level? That's what really tells me where the interest is. So this, I would still consider this the immediate aftermath of that high impact news event. Order book thins out, doesn't take a lot of volume to push the market through certain price levels. Now here's one tip. When I'm looking for a, I don't want to call it a reversal, but what I'm looking for I call it value reversion. It sounds like a small technical distinction, but to me it's an important distinction. The reason I call it that is because when we're in a balanced market, I want to see the market revert back towards where we had previous value. Right? So for me, what's really important is I want to see the other side. Like if I'm putting myself in the shoes of being a bear here and I want to short the market, I want to be so tempted to short this market. Like I want to be tempted to short it. That's how convincing of a trap I want it to look like. And then I want to see that buying response come in and say, nope, slam the door on those sellers. Now think about it this way. If I'm short the market on the way down and I see this happen, where am I going to start bailing on those shorts? Where do I throw in the towel and say, okay, I was too early, or I was too late, or I was just wrong on the idea? Where is that? Sure, we can assume there are some stop losses above that wick there, but what about the trader that went short here or here? You think they can withstand the pain of the market going all the way back up? Probably not. Probably there are stops above these wicks here as well. So we're looking at TradingView, guys. There is not going to be any order flow, like actual order flow analysis on TradingView, because TradingView just doesn't have access to that kind of data. So we'll have to keep an eye on other real order flow platforms, but the concepts remain the same. All order flow analysis is the interaction between the aggressive liquidity in the market, which are orders executed at the market. It's called aggressive because you're taking liquidity from the market when you're using a market order. You're doing what's called crossing the spread, and you're executing at the best bid or the best in the spread between the best bid and the best ask. So it's the interaction between aggressive liquidity and then passive liquidity, which are the limit orders on the book. So what we probably had here is a lot of sell limit orders waiting at this area of value. And now the market is going to be caught between the passive liquidity here and then the buying response that generated down here. And we're going to have to see which way it breaks. For me to be long on gold, I need to see us get back above that value area low right here. That's what I'd want to see. I want us to see us get back above that value area low. And you can see that's exactly where we found some resistance right now. So the market's still fighting it out. If we can build that value up here, that's when I'd want to go. So I need to wait for the right location in order to be able to start looking for trades, for entries, et cetera, et cetera. However, if we start breaking below, let's say 46.13 and we start building value sideways, that's when I start losing interest in gold. I don't necessarily really want to be short gold at all. I'd much rather patiently wait for pullbacks because we are in an overall bullish trend right now. So I have no issue waiting for a pullback. And if we profile, this larger swing, we can see where do we start seeing some value in the profile if we start breaking down significantly. We have some value, high volume nodes coming in roughly between 45.25 and 44.78. So that's a possible area to look for pullbacks to settle. And then obviously we have the much larger value that built in that range that we broke out of on that day. What is that? Wednesday, August 19th, when the US Treasury announced its bond buyback program. Okay, so let's see how the equity index futures are dealing. Yeah, so we can see ES, more room to go lower. Probably means that NQ has been breaking below. Yep, exactly. So as we head into the cash session for equity index futures, what I'd be looking for is, can NQ reclaim the value area low, setting up a beautiful trade higher, potentially a trade higher. And then with ES, it's, can we actually get back to the value area low where I'm looking for a beautiful buying response to the upside. We're in a balanced regime. So I favor that most attempts at breaking significantly outside of the value area are going to fail. So I favor that any attempts at really breaking us down are going to fail, and any attempts at breaking us out are likely to fail as well. The only thing that changes my mind in a circumstance like that, we'll use NQ as an example, is if we build value below the value area low. So we build value here, and then we start breaking down. Why? What is the difference? The difference is that means that the market accepted fair value here, and now it's accepting fair value lower. So that means value is starting to actively migrate lower. That's a slow burn. Like, you have to be super patient in order to be able to take advantage of those types of setups. But that is how, in my experience, you stop yourself from getting tricked or stopped out on a fake breakout. It's a multi-step process, but it just does wonders for your sanity and your accounts at the end of the day. Okay, let's just go back to gold, see what we're getting here. Just choppy action stuck in that zone, right? Doesn't look like we're going anywhere in a hurry yet. So you've all heard that being patient in trading is so important. What makes being patient in trading difficult is not knowing what you're being patient for. Like, what am I actually waiting for? And that's where I believe utilizing market profiles, utilizing volume profiles is so helpful. It's because it actually gives you a very clear line in the sand against which you can be bullish, against which you can be bearish. It gives you an idea of where the bigger picture trend is heading, where value is actually migrating. It goes so much beyond just, swing highs and swing lows. And I find that to be incredibly helpful. We haven't talked crypto yet. Let's do it. I would love to be more excited about crypto. And if we take a look at this monthly candle on Bitcoin, I get it. People are super excited. We're one time framing up in August relative to July so far. The issue for me is this. This is the issue for me with crypto. Currently, we're above that value area high, which is fantastic. The issue, however, is this bit of price right here. This is where we've had a previous supply. What I would love to see with Bitcoin is for us to break out of here pull back to value, hold that upper edge of value, and then go to take out the highs from earlier this year in January. That would be the trade in crypto. Otherwise, what I'm really concerned about for crypto bulls, and I don't want anyone to get hurt in any market too much. What I'm concerned about is that a lot of people have been buying the high here in crypto. We're going to get value build underneath the value area high, and then we're going to go right back to where we had previous value. That's my fear. That's my concern. Now, I'll say this, I'll put this out there. I'm not a crypto expert. I have far more expertise in commodities, equity index futures, equities themselves, energy, and then to a lesser extent metals. But most of my trading over the course of my institutional career has been in equities, a lot of forex as well. Right, so I'm not a crypto expert. I don't pretend to be, but that's just what I see in Bitcoin, and Bitcoin's really the only flagship crypto that I follow. Yeah, EU 100%. Let's take a look at the euro. We took a quick look at DXY, so euro's not going to be, it's just going to be the mirror image of that. What I love about euro is that if you're patient with it and you wait for the market to trade into value, the opportunities are fantastic. So if you take a look what we have in the macro big picture, going back all the way to like, I'd say 2017, this is what we got. And I think the upper boundary of value is going to be in that 119 area, right? So is that where we're headed? I'd say probably that is where we're headed, and there's good upside to go in the euro. On the weeklies, we're one-time framing up. On the dailies, we've been one-time framing up, and now we have a multi-day balancing regime here. Okay. So I'm looking for reasons to buy the euro primarily, and you can see that we're consolidating right here between the value area low and that point of control. What I'd love to see with the euro is like a flush of those lows and then a rebound to take us higher. That's what I would love to see, something along those lines. But I'd be looking for reasons to buy the euro against the dollar and be short dollar, and I would love to do that at cheaper prices. So I have zero interest in shorting euro dollar. I like zero interest. I'd really rather patiently wait for a pullback. So even if I profile from like that swing low to this swing high here, you can see the high volume node that's been building, and you can see this low volume corridor where we've been rejecting so far. If we lose that low volume corridor, then yeah, we're probably headed back to 116, and that's a decent trade. For that'd be a decent trade, 0.5% or so. Not nothing that sets the world on fire, but that's a decent short. If you want to capture that, that's probably a day trade kind of thing, or an intraday swing type of trade. But yeah, I'd be looking for pullbacks, in this low volume corridor just below the high volume node. Gold, we can see just chopping around, man. It looks like it's going down, looks like it's going up. Yeah, just building value here. What we need is a reclaim of that value area low. We need a reclaim of that value area low. We need to build some value there, and then we need to see that pullback to send us higher. I love the fact that we kind of just ticked under that low, swept it, traded back up. We're just stuck between a rock and a hard place right now. What basically I'm looking at is this little buildup of value prior to the news event, just holding prices right now. And that's also the value area low of this profile. Again, I just love for ES to trade down to, on the CFD, 76.58-ish. I love for NQ to trade a little bit lower as well. But I think ultimately this is setting us up potentially for a value reversion play. Value reversion just meaning sellers start getting super aggressive, they get trapped, and then we go higher. That's my trading plan for the day. If I'm wrong, guess what? I'm going to miss a day where the market sells off a little bit. Okay, that's fine. I'm happy to protect my capital, but I have a trading plan that's based on statistical analysis of volume distribution, order distribution, and my model for that. Like when I say model, I don't mean some stuff that I've looked at on a price chart over a few months and quote unquote back tested. I mean, this is years of rigorous institutional level data analysis, and it's things that institutions the world over have validated as well. we're currently in a short-term balance regime, and I favor that this balance is more statistically likely to hold than not. For me, it's as simple as that. The other thing too is given the economic backdrop, I'm still looking for a move higher for the stock market as we go into the fall. So I really, even when I'm day trading, prefer to stay in line with the bigger picture trend. Now let's go back to market. Let's take a look at the dashboard here, see if there's any more breaking news that's come out. Yeah, US inflation remains a little bit sticky. Sure, looking at the PCE, second quarter GDP unrevised. Yeah, so what we're seeing there, to me personally, I think this news event wasn't all that, all that eventful, but we can see, I mean, we've got a slight tick up here in that bullish range for the dollar. We've got a slight tick up here. That's the PCE price index. We have again, core PC coming in line, durable goods being a little bit elevated, PCE price index year over year ticking up a little bit as well. Now again, is all of this going to have a lasting effect over the coming weeks and months? I'm not sure. I just don't think that this data overrules what we've been seeing as far as inflation overall moderating. Now, one thing that we haven't actually looked at yet would be energy. So we can take a look at energy as well. Not sure which of these CFDs is necessarily the best, but let's look at WTI here. Yeah, so again here, trading in a bit of a range. Oil having pulled back is really helpful. We can also take a look at Brent. Yeah, Brent pulling back a little bit as well, but not as much as West Texas Intermediate. So one of the things that is interesting to look at would be like a Brent WTI kind of spread. I'm not sure I did that correctly. In let's see, Brent USD. And let's see if I can cross that. All right, apologies. I'm not a trading view wizard, but I was trying to create a spread between Brent and West Texas. And we can see, Brent's obviously trading at a premium to WTI. If that premium widens and we see Brent going up as WTI is going up a little bit, but not as much, that could signal, an issue for equity index markets, risk futures, risk assets, et cetera. But so long as the spread narrows or remains fairly stable, we're looking for that greed train to keep rolling on, as my friend Capital Hungry would say. Okay, seeing a little bit of a response here in equity index futures. You can see gold hanging in there, but again, nothing exciting. This price action doesn't tell me one thing or the other yet. Ankit, that's a good question. Like how to go from 0 to pro. The answer to me is it's not like one single thing. It's a combination of things. You need to have a method for analyzing the market top down. Most retail traders are unsuccessful. Most retail traders, all they focus on is learning a strategy, learning a chart setup. I don't think that has any statistical value for trying to build a long-term future as a trader. Strategies will work for a time, then they fail. There's no strategy that's always going to work forever. Edges do decay, they do erode. So it's important to understand then the fundamental, and I'm not talking about just fundamental analysis like what we're looking at here in the dashboard. I mean, understanding the market truly fundamentally, what moves the market. And for me, a lot of traders neglect the macro, they neglect the market fundamentals. So now I'm talking about like this stuff on the terminal. Most retail traders are unsuccessful. Most traders are only focused on charts. Most traders ignore this. And I think most traders ignore the fundamentals because they find it too complicated. They're not sure how it works. And that's exactly why we developed the Market Edge terminal. It's something that allows you to take back control. It allows you to understand the forces that are driving central bank decisions, institutional positioning in a way that you've never seen before. And in this amazing world where we have prompts and personal AI assistants, you can ask exactly the market what's going on. So what's going on with U.S. inflation? If I'm not sure, I can just simply put in this prompt. And it's going to pull data for me. It's going to help me understand what's going on. So there's no excuse now with fundamentals to say, oh, I don't understand this. It's too complicated. You can now prompt it and say, I don't understand. Can you simplify that for me? Can you give me that information? Here's the economic calendar. Here's the Fed messaging. Here's the headlines. So it's now up to you to take control back from the corners of the market that were inaccessible to you previously. Things like Bloomberg Terminal, 15 grand a year minimum, 20 grand a year minimum. Market, $40 a month, roughly. So it's a lot more accessible now to have access to information that's not just going to save you money by preventing you from getting into losing trades and blowing counts. It's going to also allow you to get into opportunities where you actually do have an advantage. And then finally, on the technicals, keep it simple. I look at things like value. I look at things where the market has confirmed to us we have fair value, where the market has told us we don't have fair value. And guess what? I wait for the market to enter into an area where we have not agreed on fair value before, and that's where we're going to get the movement. Because most traders do this. They see a range, and they're taking trades everywhere in the middle of the range. A better trader, more advanced trader, will wait till we get to the bottom of the range and then see what happens. That's where the opportunity lies. But most of the time, we're not trading at the edges of value. We're going to be trading in the middle of value. So most of the time, when you open up your charts to take a look at a market, odds are it's not doing anything exciting. Odds are the market has agreed on fair value at the exact moment you open up your chart. The market doesn't owe you a trade the moment that you want to look for a trade. So that's where the patience comes in. But it's so important to know what you're being patient for. I could fire off trades every second of the day if I wanted to. And it doesn't matter how good I am at reading charts. There's no edge there. Right? So I really want to combine a fundamental macro-based edge using informational positioning to my advantage. And then I want to use technicals to pull the trigger. I just don't see a reason to pull the trigger on gold. We were above the value area low, news event, short term, I'd say bearish for gold most likely. That doesn't mean that buys are invalidated. It just means I need to see a technical condition for us to get up above that value area low first. And if we pull back lower, fantastic. I now have the opportunity to look at buying gold at an even cheaper discount relative to current prices. I think the trend in gold is higher, big picture. I don't want to short. For me, it's that simple. It's really that simple. That's what allows me to be patient. That's what allows me to get into, small number of high quality trades over the course of an entire trading week. Yep, still not seeing anything breaking come out here. NASDAQ trading lower. ES trading lower. Hoping that ES has lower to go. Hoping we complete a full value rotation down to 76.57 or so in the CFD. That's where I'd be looking for a potential buy. NASDAQ I'm not as interested in, to be honest, because if ES is going to trade lower, NQ could be pressuring these lows. We're now far away from previous value. All right, so I want to pick the market that's setting up the best. Again, what would change my mind? Where would I want to be short NQ, even if I'm just being a scalper? It's not my trade personally, but look, if I profile this bigger move up, here's the value area low, which is exactly where we found a buyer. So the reason I don't want to short is because I think the runway to get back to the value area low is somewhat limited. And this is where I'd be looking to buy anyway. And I'm not so greedy that I want to scalp two directions. That's not the type of trader I am. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. It's just not my style. Being patient, waiting for the market to pull back to a relative discount so I can send it, that's my style. I'd much rather be doing that, taking those kinds of trades. One last look at gold here. One thing I want to draw your attention to, just building this high volume node, right? That's kind of what we're doing so far. We're building value. If we start losing this high volume node today, that's when I'd be looking for a pullback. You know, potentially to 47.53, minor area of support down there, and then potentially lower into the 4,500s, like 45.25 to maybe all the way down to 44.77 or so. But just being patient, man. Just being patient. Nobody's putting a gun to my head and forcing me to take trades today. Do I think today's going to be a good trading day, though? Yeah, you betcha. I'm excited to trade today. I think the market's setting up. Does that mean for sure I'm going to send it? No. Still need to wait for my technical setup. Quick look at bond yields, and then we're going to wrap up here. So we can see bond yields coming into some support, which means bonds have traded into resistance effectively. That's on the 10-year. Same deal with the 30-year. All right, so I'm very interested to see how bonds are going to trade. But yeah, that's something that's on my radar as well, obviously, taking a look at yields. The 2-year short-dated yields I'm not as interested in right now. I'm looking more at the longer terms, 10 years and 30 years. All right, real quick, I'll show you guys my setups for volume profiles. So I have volume profile indicators on the left, as you can see. I use the SVP indicator. Now, I trade equity index futures for the most part, right? If I'm day trading, so I'd have this set to a 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. based on the American New York time zone. That's strictly for equity index futures. If I'm trading gold, if I'm trading other like FX, CFDs, then I'm not using a time-based indicator necessarily. I want to use a fixed range volume profile. I'm going to pull up my fixed range volume profile settings here so you can take a look at them. Okay, so I have it number of rows, 200, volume total, value area 70, style. I show obviously the volume profile, value area high, the value area low, and the point of control. That's what I've got up. So you can pause that part of the video to set your own settings. And then what I do is I'm going to profile using the fixed range profile what I believe the market is negotiating right now. So for instance, if we go to dollar CAD, we see this entire movement here. What happened? We have a high of the range, we have a low of the range. Look, I bet you that the value area high is somewhere around here and somewhere down here for the value area low. The point of control looks to be somewhere around there roughly. Right? So what I can do is I can profile this entire section of price. If I don't include that downtrend which skews the data. Okay, so TradingView actually moved that value area low quite a bit lower than I would have expected. And now here's the thing. The TradingView does not have real tick-based data, and you know, with CFDs, we don't actually have, they're not a centralized product, so you don't actually see all the orders coming in. But I find this type of analysis still extremely helpful. Now, so what we can see here is once we broke inside the value area high for dollar CAD, what have we started to do? Rotate towards this high volume node and then potentially the value area low. So I believe that's what we're kind of negotiating right now, if you will, in dollar CAD. And I can do this for really any market, okay? Any market at all. I can also do this for dollar yen. I can go from the high to the low and look at where dollar yen found some support just around that value area high of that profile. Okay, so this is not necessarily for picking blind levels and longing or shorting off of them. It's going to give you a map. It's going to give you a map of where to look for potential trade opportunities and ideas. All right, guys, thank you. Man, eventful hour. We've got gold breaking down. Curious to see how much lower we go. We've got equity index futures kind of doing their thing and now entering a little bit of chop. I'm very excited for this cash session. So if you guys are trading, just stay safe out there and just be mindful of having a trading plan before you get into any type of risk-taking activity. Thanks, guys. Till next time.
Yes, hello. Good morning, everyone. Am I live? Let me see. Yes, I am live. I was not ready 100%. I was still getting some stuff ready. But you know what? Let's get ready all together. How's everyone today? How's everyone? Oh, here we go. Now it's working. You see? I'm trying to find some... where are all the haters? Let me find you. Let me find you. Where are you? Are you here in the chat, boys? Very well. Oh, okay. Listen, I see you now. Hello. Let me get ready. I'm almost ready. I am almost ready, I think. Yeah, this setup sucks. I need to find something else. Let's put this. Yeah, let's do it that way. It's fine. I am here. Look at the cable management. The cable management is a disaster. I know you guys are judging right now. You actually can't see it that much, but the cable management is a disaster. I know, and it will be fixed another day because right now I don't have the time. Okay, so let's share the link in the Discord. Let's tag everyone. Where is the Discord? Discord is here. Fanatics. I am live already. Let's go. Boom. Slightly blind now. Yeah, because I couldn't see you guys. I couldn't find you. Let me do my quick story. You know what? Let's do the story all together. Let's do like this. Oh. We are live. We are live already, guys. Look at this. We are live. It is time to join. We are live. We are live already, guys. Look at this. We are boom. Let me get the link. I know. I came a bit too early. We are live. We are live already, guys. Look at this. Okay. What's up, bro? Eco. Yeah, I know. Okay, I'm here now. What's up? Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good Tag. Leave you is always here. Rons, Pam, Matt, Eric, Kronos, Andy, Joe Feck. It's good to see you. It's good to see you all the time in here, actually. There is some other people. JD, Nicholas. Oh, Nicholas. I know. Nicholas, by the way, he will join us after to do a giveaway with Market AI. It's a giveaway that we don't do usually, but the boys are coming up with some gifts. So you guys will be happy about it. Okay. So Vinit, let me know when our guest is here. Okay. In WhatsApp. Let me know in WhatsApp. During that time, I'm just gonna catch up with the boys in the chat. Let me refresh my page because I can't see you. Oh yeah. Yeah, the cool is here. Yes, sir. What's your route in Pakistan? I am from in Pakistan. I'm from Murray, which is the the mountains. By the way, boys, I have a great news. I have actually two great news. Yeah, two. One is at 5 p.m. today, I'm gonna see a barber. Finally, I know, I know. Right now, it's a headache. You see, it's getting out of control. However, boys, this is the last time you're gonna see me like this. Okay, the beard and stuff, because I'm gonna see a barber, and hopefully he's gonna make me beautiful. He's going to make me like like the cherry on the cake that we all love to to eat. And hopefully I will be this like beautiful biryani that you guys all love it. But the other good news also, actually, let me see if it's good news or not. Let me see. Let me see. Don't switch my screen, producer. Okay, don't do that. Okay, wait. We are on a trade. We are on a trade, but not sure yet. Okay, not sure yet. So we're gonna wait. Okay. Okay, Krishna is coming soon. It's fine. He can take his time. So how's your like how are you guys? Oh, okay, wait. Okay, hello, brother. Hello, Ibrup, Jofik, yeah, Asha, yeah. Oh, we haven't seen Billy for a long time. Beautiful. Refer to a woman, dude. Yes. Well, listen, wifey, find the address, because it's not my project. If it was me, you guys, you know that I would be bald right now because I can't keep up with those hair. I feel like every night when I go to bed, I look like Justin Bieber because I take a shower and I do in purpose just to piss out my wifey. So I put all of my hair like in front, and I'm like, yes, I'm the wish version of Justin Bieber. She hates it, but she said trust the process. She wanna do like the Italian haircut style, which is I don't know. I'm not that sure, but let's see. Talking about a handsome man, we have also a guest today. He is actually a very old friend of us, of Reese and me and the other guys. We know him for the past maybe. We actually started trading together somehow, because I started a little bit before, but we both started at Astro FX. Yeah, I know. It was a long time ago. Let me do. Give me 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds. Oh. Yeah. So we started together in Astro FX, and funny enough is that he was one of the rare guy actually, or even one of the first one that I know was very deep into high risk reward, very like into like detail, very detail of detail, stuff like this. And I kind of liked it because he's not looking to take any entry based on why not. He will be very precise, he will be very focused, and I kind of like it. So he will be joining us whenever Vinit will let me know. For now, he's getting ready. And we're gonna let the other boys coming soon. Are you short on NQ? Yes and no. Yes and no. We will see. EuroUSD was actually a good setup last time on Monday. It's a shame that it touched our break even, but it's fine. Okay, so let's start the stream quite soon. I'm just waiting for Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Thank you, Vinit. So that was last week. So the trade was fine. So initially we took it from. So initially we took it here. So I did say, let's put ourselves in break even. So those who didn't decide to put themselves in break even, well played to you. Sadly, sadly, or anyway, the trade went to profit after. So for me, it was a nice 1-to-4 risk reward actually. So that was quite nice. But it is what it is. It went to break even for me. The other one was gold, and gold actually, I do need to speak about this because gold touched our main TP, which is this one. Oops. Let me delete all of this. Yeah, so gold actually touched the main TP, which is this one, which is great. But I did say during the stream that we're gonna go to get this high at a certain point. It's maybe not now, but it will get at a certain point. Look at what happened. We took the high, literally, we took the high, and after this, now we've started to rip down. You see? And that's exactly what I was looking for to get the real short. That was the fake one, but it's fine. You can take the fake short. It's just like it's just a matter of, if you take the fake short, just be sure that you put the TP to the right place. So that's why we got those 2 TPs. That was the 2 one. Okay. So that will be the main. Wait, let me double check. Okay. So yeah. So if you're aware that you're into a short squeeze, let's put it that way, your TP is not this one, the bottom one. Okay. Your TP are those 2, but now that we took this high, and the other thing that I was looking for, something that I said on Monday. Remember what I said on Monday? For those who was there is one particular thing, and listen, boys, I haven't checked, so I'm not sure if this happened or not. But what did I said on Monday? I said there is one little thing that I'm waiting. Yes, like making a new high, but one little thing that I want the market to do before I take the shorts. I can't hear anything, Luis. Just put the sound on. Put the sound off on, my friend. You told that you're on a trade. I see very more for long NQ below. In the like, more like the Alibaba version Justin Bieber. Yeah. But listen, it's a blessing to have so much hair. That's the thing. Imagine if I was bald. I mean, I did that. I did bald, but I feel like long hair is fitting me better. What did I say, boys? Come on. Otherwise, I end the stream. I have work to do anyway, so it's not that bad if I end the stream. So tell me. Good morning, Talha. Take the buy side liquidity on a higher time frame. No, I can't. Yeah. No. The little thing that I said. The little thing that I said. Okay. I was looking. Is the thing that everyone's love to judge me on this, but I truly don't give a fuck, is the RSI. The RSI, so it was in yes, half an hour. Look at the RSI. So I did say that we've been overbuying for a long period of time. Great. But look at the markets. RSI is still going down. You see, like we are making new highs. We are making new highs. Look at this. We are making new highs, new highs, and new highs. But in the RSI, we're not making any new highs. Okay. So remember what I said in the past. I said if we do have a divergence in the RSI, which means that the market is making new highs, but in the RSI, we are not making any new highs, it means that we have manipulations. Remember, RSI is about overbuying and overselling. So if we're overbuying and overselling, we're not about overbuying for $100 or $200. We are overbuying for millions of millions of millions of millions. Just I want you to keep this in mind. We're not. It's not your mom money that we are overbuying in the market. Okay, it's not the money that you have to buy drugs that we are using to overbuy in the markets. Okay, it's millions of millions. So if you start to understand that, the question that you need to ask to yourself, that I did to myself, is what are you overbuying for? Why are you trying to trigger? What your goal by overbuying? When you start to ask yourself this question, this is where now you start to see and look at for answers. So now you're gonna go to the daily and you're gonna try to find answers in the left side. And remember what I said on Monday. I said, FVG boys, we have an FVG here. So the sell is coming soon. Okay, 4 hours. Why the market decided to go there, and from this exact place, the market decided to go down. And look at this. Isn't it beautiful? This is what I love with the market. In today, I can literally, and you guys think that's maybe massive ego, or you guys think it's another influencers thinking that he's a crazy guy. He knows he another ICT guy that think that he knows everything about the market. Listen, boys, I need to repeat this to myself, but also for you. I am far from an influencer. I hate being an influencer. I wish I could be in this room by myself all the time and just trade and just get the knowledge that I have and just stay and just don't explain, because it's such a level of research. You guys think it's just a couple of hours of back testing? It's more than 10,000 of back testing recorded purposely. So imagine when sometimes I don't do it purposely. It's 10,000 hours of recording purposely. Now, look at this. I've explained. Daily FVG, the market is fractal. So what you see on a daily potentially can be duplicated or replicated in the 4 hours or 1 hour. And remember what I said last time. Understand the where. The where is in the weekly and the daily. Understand the when. The when is in the 4 hours and in the 1 hour. So now look at this. We have the daily FVG, and on top we have the daily order block. In the daily order block, what do we have? A 4 hour FVG. Now that we understand that, we wait for a reaction. And look at the reaction. Let's go into 5 minutes to have a better precise entry. Look at this. Look at this. Rejection, but there is nothing in here that is telling us that it is more like now this is time to die. The real moment is coming exactly here. Boom. This beautiful bearish engulfing candle. Okay, in this beautiful bearish engulfing candle. And look at those reaction, and another engulfing candle. This is where you get your entry. And this is where from here you have the beautiful short. You can go the short from there. I mean, I would say from there, because you need to protect with a plan B. And from there, after that, you can potentially, and I would say this would be my potentially main goal, which is this one. Boom. Okay. So that's what we are trying to do when we trade in general. So now we're gonna go to NAS, because NAS NAS open is in 9 minutes. So we're gonna be doing the same. First, we start with the daily. Okay. First, we start with the daily. So look at what happened in the daily. First, what we did. First, we took this 2 to 3 equal lows to the T. Beautiful. Following by that, we still have an FVG. Beautiful. Following by that, we have a breaker block. Oh, this is delicious. This is delicious. That's beautiful. The other thing that is actually quite interesting is that this is because I'm making a PDF for Chart Academy. I would say just get ready. It will be for tomorrow. I'm explaining all of this in the PDF. So actually, you guys have a live case study if the market goes up. Plus, you will have a detailed explanation on the Instagram of Chart Academy. But in here, we have also... Shit, I forgot. What do we have in here? Just give me a second. I need to double check. We have... give me a second. We have... Oh, yeah. That's it. Yes. We have a break structure gap. That's it. We have a break structure gap, which is another term for ICT, but which is also quite interesting because look at the momentum. Okay, look at the momentum. So we have a break structure gap, we have a FVG, we have a breaker block. However, the question that we have right now that we need to ask to ourselves is it the right place to buy? That's it. Is it the right place to buy? Market is fractal. Yes, Samuel. I'm good, brother. I am very good. Did you bought NAS yesterday, but my trade is in a big drawdown now. I bought NAS yesterday, but my trade is in a big drawdown right now. Okay, well, let's see, because I may come up with a bad news, Mr. Sami, but at the same time, if we are going long, okay, we should be holding this level. So if today we are going long, we should be holding this level. The only thing that I don't like right now for a long is all of this, okay? And the other good news that I have, Mr. Sami, is that I am in a long from Asia session, from this area. And I'm gonna tell you a thing, bro. Like, we have a special guest joining very soon. Let's get nice. So it's all fixed. Nice. Okay. Just let me finish on this quickly, and we get our boy in the stream. I don't know for you guys, but I've started to realize, and I've started to see a pattern, which is actually very bad for us people in Europe. Asia session is sick. Asia session is actually super sick right now. It's pissing me off because I need to stay awake late and I need to do some nap. I mean, at least one nap during the day, because only during Asia session I'm having good trades, which is ridiculous and pissing me off. I took this trade at literally 1 a.m. until 2 a.m. I was like, am I good? Am I bad? And after this, I said, okay, khalas. Now I'm going to close my eyes and we wish for the best. I stopped at the same level. Let's see. Okay. So I took the long. I am still into this long. I'm going to keep this long. But just to say, it's the same logic as usual. Is look at this. I took this long just for a reason, is that we tapped into something quite a key level. I will explain after, which is fine. And after that, look at this. We've created a BPR. Look at the market, where the market is slowing down in the BPR. After that, the market tapped into the order block. So I said, okay, fine. Let me go in 5 minutes. Let me see if this move is logic. And look at the logic behind. Like I said previously, we take this internal liquidity. We tap into this beautiful FVG. And after tapping into it, we have this beautiful bullish engulfing candle. But I was not that sure because we did reject it. If I go here quickly, you see, like this FVG, we were rejecting this FVG. So I said, fuck this shit. I don't like it that much. So I'm just going to wait 5 more minutes. And we got this one. And that was my entry. So I took the long from this area, went back to 5 minutes, sorry, stop loss below, just here. And now I'm holding this long. So my first TP is already out, but I'm holding this long at least here. So I'm holding this long at least here. So that's my program today. So that's my program. Now I am in a break-even position. Now I am potentially looking actively right now for another entry, which is here. And that's a new open trade that I've literally took right before the stream. Right before the stream, I took this trade. So now we're gonna see if this one will be also another good entry. And my stop loss will be below this because we have those two equals. We have those two equals. So those two equals, it's either we're gonna get those two equals out of the market, so the market will go lower, or those are two fake equals. We don't go more down, and from there we go more higher. So let's see. So just to make it clean, I'm gonna keep it this like this, and I'm gonna keep this one boom like this. Those are my two trades. That the same TP. Okay, look. We'll be short live. We'll be short live when New York gets back up to normal. Yeah, honestly, I can't wait to get the market back to normal because those Asia sessions are actually super clean. I'm actually shocked how clean this is. I was like, yeah, FVG reaction, boom, market goes. Liquidity out, FVG, market goes up, goes. I'm like, wow, life is so easy. Why am I doing New York Open? Back in yo back in the game. Hello, Sparsh. Okay, so can we have our Mr. Krishna on the stream? Yeah. Oh, Can we hear Krishna? No, you're muted on Ninja. You need to unmute yourself. Oh. Yeah, we can't hear Krishna. Here we go, guys. So you know what, Krishna? I would say share my screen, Vinit, again, and try to see with our boy if we can fix this issue, because the market just opened now. So I wanna look at this. Share my screen. Share my screen. Look at boys. Look at boys. Nice. Nice is flying. This is what we want. Are we in a good profit? We are up $1,000 at the moment. Yeah, you guys can't see, but basically it's behind me actually. No, actually I'm locked in. Oh wait, I'm locked in actually. Oh yeah. Amazing. Okay. I'm locked in actually in here. I didn't realize. Okay, perfect. Okay, nice. But I don't have this one normal. Yeah, I don't have the other one because the other one is on the Fanatics account. Perfect. Beautiful. Isn't it beautiful, boys? Isn't it beautiful, boys? Where the TP, man? Listen, the TP is very high. The TP is here. The TP is here. So to be sure that the TP will be here, all we need to do is to wait for the we need to wait for the 1 hour and 4 hour candle close. Krish, talk. Yeah. Let's see. And you know what, Vinit? Oh. Wait, talk. Okay, it's not working. Go back to house and bring me back to the chat. Oh my goodness, this guy is he's mysterious. He's very mysterious. Nobody knows about his voice. Are we going to know? I don't know, but this guy is extremely mysterious. Venet, can you put my chart, please? Johnny Depp. Yeah, he's a good-looking boy. He's a very good-looking guy. But yeah, okay, let's get yeah, beautiful. So right now, that's actually beautiful. So what I like actually right now is that, look at this, we are not getting those highs. So we are potentially gonna use this as what I used to say, springboard, as momentum. We're gonna use this as like a reason to create more volume. So you're gonna see. Just wait a little bit. And for those who came late to the journey and missed the call about taking this long, let's see if we have, I don't know actually where we can buy again. Oh, I have. This could be our next place to buy again. Okay, I'm gonna delete all of this, and this could be our next place to buy again. So we will see. Let's wait and see. Oh my goodness. Don't do it dirty to me, my friend. Actually, this will be a good place in here. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All of this hype for no gay fuel. Come on here, Krishna. Muy bueno, bueno, nova. I was on a short journey there. Took this long at the perfect time. Looks dirty. Stop loss. Oh my goodness. You guys are getting, you're getting emotional or what? Took the long as well. Secure some partial. Always on a point, brother. Thanks a lot. Harrison, long time. Yo, Zero. Is he an Indian trader? Yes, I think he's Indian. He's Indian, I think. It's going down. Zero. Of course, I remember you, bro. We're like, what are you even talking about? I mean, your trade will go to SL. Oh, well, let's see. Maybe not, maybe yes. You know what? Let me take a screenshot. It's either I will make a clip where I clown myself, because I don't care, I can clown myself, or I make a clip where I clone you. And that will have a better taste. Me too. Bounce on wrap now. Bounce on VWAP now. Yeah, let's see. I think right now it's too early. What do we have? I think gold, we said that we should go lower. That's fine. Euro is... Yo, it's... Wait. Yeah, your voice is working in here, but it's not working on the stream. I think like Vinny did need to double check on the OBS directly if your sound is active or not, because we can hear it on the Ninja, but not on the OBS. No, I think it's all on Vinit now. Ah, it's working apparently. Okay, bring him back. But bring him back. Wait, bring him back, but share my screen. You know, like share the screen with the two cameras. Wait, you can trade crypto with Hola Prime? That's actually a good one. Okay. Okay, Krish, test.
Yo, check. Check.
It's working, my friend. Hi, finally.
Okay. Perfect.
How you doing, my friend?
I'm good. Are we live now? Are we there?
We are live.
Wow. Okay. Listen, my first time being on the stream. You know, this is serious work. This is crazy. Listen, first and foremost, you gotta promise me that's the last time you're gonna try flirt with me. Especially, bro, in front of all these people calling me good looking and shit, making me a bit uncomfortable. Secondly, to the chat, there's a couple of things. First and foremost, this is my first time on a stream, as I said. So if there are any little glitches, technical difficulties, then do forgive me. Do have some patience. It will get smoother the longer we go on. Look at this guy on this. Look at this guy. But yeah, look, let me do a little background. Obviously, Noah said briefly, we've known each other for years. We started trading around the same time, literally 2019, 2020. So we've got some history, you know what I'm trying to say? We've seen some dark things, man. We've seen some dark things in this industry.
Oh yeah, we did.
Some, you know what I'm trying to say, some real shit. And but yeah, listen, this is my thing that I want to start off with, yeah? Because you lot, along with everyone else who's trying to be a trader, especially these days, because the industry has grown massively. Like 6 years ago when we started, the industry was a fraction in terms of the information, the exposure, that just the amount of stuff there is going on in the social media space. So you guys have a surplus of information as far as technical strategy and so on. And to be fair, you know what? At this point, even when it comes to mindset, there's a ton of information. So the thing that I would like to say from the beginning is share what I ended up finding to be the most important thing when it came to being a trader. Because yeah, the strat is one thing and all of that sort of stuff. But you got to remember, like for me personally, when I started trading, or when I wanted to get into all of this, and it's the same as everyone else, it was just to make money. You know what I'm trying to say? And the more important thing, it was to make money in a way where I'm not sacrificing my day-to-day life and my day-to-day time and all of this sort of stuff. Now, there's a bit of irony there, because we know in the short term, trading actually takes a lot more time and effort and dedication. But in the long term, should you make it work, you will be paid back tenfold in terms of how much time you will have in your life. So the point is, Noah mentioned that I started off very, very attracted to the high risk reward. You know what I'm trying to say? Super, super intricate entries. We're talking 2 pip stop loss, 3 pip stop loss, 4 pip stop loss, talking ridiculous risk rewards and so on and so forth. And then after a while, come to realize that it's attractive and it's great and it gives you that dopamine and it gives you all of this and it gives you all of that and you feel good and it's a good little Instagram story and this and that and the other. But the initial checkbox of why I wanted to start trading in the first place, which was to make consistent, stress-free, peaceful, calm, you know what I'm trying to say, money and have all the time on my hands, that checkbox over time wasn't being fulfilled, at least for me. That's another thing I want to say as well. Nothing you ever hear come out of a trader's mouth is going to be true across the board. Is that making sense to everyone? It's all, you're gonna have to take everything with a pinch of salt, because everyone has their own unique experiences. Also, Noah, if there's anything that's being said in the chat as far as questions and so forth, I'm gonna leave that to you to relay back to me, because I can't see it at the moment.
Yeah, no worries. I will tell you, man.
So yeah, so listen, for me, as I said, started with, went through the ups and downs, and we continued tweaking a strat, and we continued, I'm trying to say, matching the way I trade with the changes in my personality. Because also, between the ages of when I started, which was about 19, 20, maybe even earlier actually, around 18, 19, to now I'm 25, those years, from experience, I would say generally as well, I think you could make the generalization, they're pretty formative years, obviously, not in the same way that teenage years are formative years biologically and so on and so forth. But as far as your personality, I'm trying to say, your maturity, your worldview, your outlook on what you want out of life, these last 6 years for me have been huge. There's been a lot of changes. So a lot of the changes and a lot of the tweaking and the experiments that I did strat wise were also to match my personality, because I'll hold my hands up and say, I do not have the same risk appetite that I did back when, Noah was mentioning I was doing all of the higher risk reward stuff. And so for that reason, it doesn't serve me to, you're never under any obligation to kind of stay loyal to an idea or an opinion that you once had, if that makes sense. If you're changing, if you're evolving the things around you and the things in your vicinity, your immediate vicinity, your career, trading, your strat, your relationships, whatever, they also have to, I'm trying to say, you have to keep that up. So what we'll do is, let me share my screen. Is that a thing we're good to do, Vinny? Is that or is that gonna cause a big crash? What are we doing here?
Just a quick one for those who are on buy on long on NAS. Congratulations, it's looking extremely beautiful. I want you to take
cool.
a few minutes. Lots of fucking volume, big dot, not just show our track. Yeah, so I want to say, for those who want to do this long, it is maybe a good time either to put yourself in break even or just to take a bit of profit. I would say, okay? Because making money because right now we are on active trades, beautiful. I'm up 1,007, beautiful, but nothing is saved if I'm not taking any profit from the market. So I would say if you're in, congratulations, take some profit, relax a bit. Maybe we will have another opportunity. Maybe the market will go down again. And also remember to laugh at FX Darwish because he was telling us that we're gonna get stopped out, and actually he was wrong. I don't know why I have so much energy. I am actually sick as fuck. My throat is
Yeah, bro, this guy's on crack.
it's actually crazy because I am on medicine right now. I have this because I'm sick as fuck. For some reason, I am on fire right now.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, I'm really ill too. I'm literally sat here sweating. But your energy, you're on a different level. So I didn't mean to cut you off though. Are you done with what you were saying about the?
Yeah, I'm done for the. Yeah, I'm done for now. I will say, boys, listen to what Krishna is going to say. I would say just in case, if you guys listen, but at the same time monitoring your trade, 15-minute close is very bullish. Okay. So we are maybe potentially looking for those high TP that we were talking about, which is this one, okay? This one. But just keep in mind that we may have a retracement. So whenever we have a good retracement, whenever we have a good opportunity, I will say to Krishna that let's jump on my charts just to see where we can enter again.
Yeah, of course. Feel free. Interrupt whenever you need. That's fine. Okay, cool. So assuming you can all see my screen, since it's my first time, what I'm going to start with is just a little chart breakdown of GU now. GU has literally exclusively been the only pair that I have traded pretty much since I started trading. I obviously had the little phases where I would experiment with something else and try something else. Even recently, I think not this time last year, but just under a year ago, obviously the futures space has really, I'm trying to say, taken over. So, I tried to dabble in that, but GU has literally been my go-to for a long, literally since I started. So I'm going to give you a little breakdown of GU. I'll try my best to not get too bogged down in strategic details yet. That can come at a later date, or if Noah tells me there's a specific question in the chat. But let me run through this now. Top down on the monthly in GU. This is what I'm seeing, and this is what I have been seeing for a long time. These two highs here have been a target for me. That horizontal ray for a long time, and so in this entire, literally over the last literally more than a year, on my macro, I've been bullish to attack those highs. Now, this is one thing that I would like to start off by saying as well. When you guys do your top-down analysis, you guys have to realize that the purpose of the top-down analysis, especially as, most of us are probably scalpers, intraday traders, right? The purpose of a top-down analysis from your monthly, your weekly, is not to form a trade idea. That's the thing. So if I say, for example, let's say as of Feb 2025 or Jan 2025, when we took that previous yearly low, let's say since then I said to myself, okay, cool, I'm bullish, or I'm expecting price to take out these highs. That doesn't obviously mean that I'm only going to be placing buys. You know what I'm trying to say? So that's one thing you got to remember. The purpose of a top-down analysis is not to form a trade idea, especially, or really and truly only if you're scalpers and intraday traders. It's simply to log information, and when we get closer to those executing timeframes, when we're getting closer to those timeframes where you are looking to form your trade ideas, aka the daily and below, the more important thing is going to be not so much what you want to do, but definitely what you don't want to be doing. You know what I'm trying to say? So let's say, for example, just a quick one, so I can emphasize what I mean here. For 1 second, forgetting that this is a monthly time frame, okay? Let's just say, for example, this is a 5-minute time frame. If we were looking at this chart and we could understand that these highs are a target for us, the one thing that you would be able to say with confidence is not that you want to buy up to these highs, okay? Instead, what I believe is the right approach to the charts. Instead of saying I'm going to buy up to these highs, you want to say I definitely don't want to sell below these highs, because your capital preservation is your number one priority. You know what I'm trying to say? And little switches like that, you know, you can turn around and tell me, oh, well, indirectly, it really means the same thing. It doesn't. You know, the devil is in the details. And a little detail like that, instead of committing yourself to buying up to that high, you know what I'm trying to say? Telling yourself that you're not going to sell below that high is a different thing. It's a different thing. But anyways, cool. So yeah, these highs are a target. Essentially, what that means to me is all of these areas, all of the processes and schematics. I don't know if there's any familiar people in this stream that have ever come across the way I trade before. But the processes and the price movements that we go through on every single scale up towards those highs are going to be for the purpose of attacking those highs. Okay, so for me, what that means is we are going to be engineering lows, okay, engineering liquidity below the lows, and then purging those lows in order to accumulate and expand higher. So the perfect example of that we can see on the screen here is liquidity below the previous yearly low, okay, liquidate that, and then expand higher to the previous yearly high. That's a very, very clean, very typical reaccumulation cycle, which is just bullish price, remaining bullish, and using the liquidity below old lows to do so, okay? So the same thing, now that we're above that high, again, it's not as simple as, this is why your narrative is so important. You know, the narrative in this case, and the central piece to my narrative on GU in this case being these highs, is so, so important, because without that, okay, without that, if I was to just look at this, it would be too easy for me to say, okay, we're above old highs now, so you know, I'm firmly, you know, I'm looking for price to distribute and sell off. But that's not all that true. Are we going to get bearish bits of price action? 100%. Even though price is, or I'm hoping for price to expand, even if we look back at the same example, in order for price to expand from that previous yearly low, we first had to be bearish and get to that previous yearly low. You know what I'm trying to say? Also, one other thing that just came to my mind that I'll mention is, I obviously, since it's my first time, since I'm not too aware of the specific crowd that's watching this, and maybe your level of trading and understanding, I hope that I'm not being you know, too basic in my explanation. I hope I'm not you know what I'm trying to say, going over obvious things. But anyways, we'll get there. So on GU, we're in another area of reaccumulation on the macro. I do believe that this low, which I believe, I'm going to double check, is a 6-month low. Also, going over these time frames, I'm thinking back to when I literally had every single time frame on my chart. I had every single time frame on my chart. So we've got 2 6-month lows that are stacked here. And again, following that reaccumulation process and reaccumulation characteristics, I am thinking, or I do have half an idea. Again, this is not forming a trade idea, but I do have half an eye towards price selling off to below this low and accumulating before expanding higher. The only caveat to that idea on this macro scale is the 3-month time frame.
I have a question for you quickly, bro.
Yeah.
Is why did you, because when we used to trade together and stuff, you used to be very much like in a smaller time frame and stuff, and now that you are more into a swing, so the question is, I have a couple of questions, is did you decided to go more into like swings because of your lifestyle, your emotion, your what's your reason? Because I've seen a lot of people go there at a certain point. Yeah. Look, so first and foremost, I'm definitely not a swing trader. I use my macro analysis, and I'm doing this for the first time here just to give you guys background as to how I see this particular pair. I definitely am not a swing trader. I'm still very much an intraday day trader. But yes, I stay very, I no longer go on those super small time frames. And the answer is a mix of all of those options. My emotions, my general appetite for risk. Look, I came to realize that when you get, for me personally, essentially what I realized is that whether I get a 1 to 3 on a 1 hour chart, or whether I get 1 to 3 on a 5-minute chart, at the end of the day, it's a 1 to 3. And if I can do that consistently, then I don't really mind which one is which. Do you see what I'm trying to say? Also, as far as my emotions and as far as my view on trading goes,
it definitely switched from where I was on the charts every day. You know, I was super active and I was super high trade volume and so on and so forth. It got to a point where, you know, I realized I would love, right? I would love to envision, and this is basically what I did, was I envisioned myself at what I would believe to be my peak. Okay, so what I mean by that is, let's say I've got, I don't know, 50 million in funding from certain investors and so on and so forth, and I'm managing masses of capital, way more than I am right now. At that point, how would I trade at that point? Okay, and the answer was very simple. I would not be trading, for me personally, again, grain of salt, this is no right or wrong answer. At that point, I would not be trading every single day, multiple times a week, 5-minute time frames, 3 pip stop losses. And you know, there's definitely an argument here to say that really the figure and the number, the capital, shouldn't really have any bearing into your strat, because your strats, the strat percentages are percentages, and yeah, there's a certain conversation to be had there. But for me personally, I realized if there's a certain image in my head as to how I would trade when I'm at my absolute peak, you know, when I'm 40 or whatever it is, I don't know, that's just a made up number, but whatever it is, then why don't I just emulate that now? Does that make sense? So that was essentially my reason for rising up from the lower time frames, and hitting something a lot more simple. Because also on the lower time frames, one issue that I was having is, this is actually another good turning point I should speak about. So in December, I met someone who is a computer scientist. He also has half a foot in the trading world, and we were talking about automation and bots and codifying a strategy and so on and so forth. And very quickly, when I came, when I was talking to him about this, I realized that my strategy at the time, which was the lower time frames and so on and so forth, there's a lot of discretion. There's a lot of discretion necessary to choose. For example, why this 5-minute order block and not this 5-minute order block? You know, that same old story that that we go through as on those lower time frames is why this and why not that. And it was a lot of human decision, and it was a lot of discretion based decisions, which is basically impossible to codify. And so that mixed in with my idea of hands-off approach, work less and live more, I came to realize that I would love to have a very, very simple strat which doesn't require a lot of discretion. Checkbox, 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 and that's it. If you see that, you take it. If you don't see that, you don't take it, and just not as many questions as I was having to face on those lower time frames. I hope that kind of answers your question.
Yes, sir. Yes,
okay. Sir. Beautiful.
Just so, what? Let me just. Sorry, bro. I know you're in.
Yeah, go on.
Just
all good.
We just need quickly to do a quick update on NAS.
Yeah.
Let's do a quick update on NAS, guys, because the 1 hour plus the 4 hour candle is going to close quite soon. And this, for now, looks pretty good. The 1 hour is making a beautiful bullish engulfing candle, which is for now looks good. But again, we still have 1 more minute, so let's see. Yeah, so it should be fine. Because the thing is, like, while Krishna was talking, I was trying to see, like, do we have other TPs in between? So I was going into like the 5 and 15 and blah blah blah. The only potentially place where we can have a reaction could be could be. So look at this. We have those small equals. So that's money that we need to grab at a certain point, and we have an AVG here. So potentially this could be one of our TP in here. So this would be the 2 main TPs. Okay, boys, just to keep in mind. So we're gonna put one alert on this one. So we're gonna put one alert here, just in case I'm busy doing something else, or maybe because I'm going to the barber after. So maybe I will need to close it manually. I don't know. I need to see. Yeah, the only thing that I really don't like, guys, I'm gonna be me being completely honest, is we have all of this FVG here. So my question is, do I really want to hold these trades and going back to a place where I'm gonna be up 1,000, like, because right now I'm up 1.7, 1.8%, which is fine. But the question is, do we want to hold, or do we want to take some profit now and get another entry after? So let's see. I'm gonna wait and see. I'm gonna take a decision based on how the 5-minute candle will look like, and based on this, I will take a decision. So yeah, our euro is dying. Oh, that's savage, guys. Okay, listen, let's put an alert, all of us together here. From this area. From this area, which is, I believe, we will go higher. And I think let's try to put somewhere more like here. And this will be a great place to short again, potentially. So I'm gonna put one more alert here. And based on where we are, if we have like this reaction, what the perfect scenario will be, we close bearish. Okay, we close bearish, and tomorrow we retrace on those two areas and we continue with this bearish move. But yeah, so I will keep those two. 2 seconds. Yeah, I'm gonna check gold. Nvidia results today. What do you think? Well, listen, chart will talk by himself. Daily. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days of being bearish, which is that never happened previously. Yeah, I mean, it's been a long time that we haven't. Wait, this one, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, only 4. This one, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, never we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days of being bearish. So I don't know. There is an announcement that have been made recently that Nvidia is going to increase their project of 15% for 2017, which is fucking annoying because my computer behind is almost dead. I have it since COVID-19, and it's crashing recently. So I'm like, I've been waiting for the RAM bars, memory bars, to go lower. What I could see right now is that memory cards is more expensive. SSD cards are getting more expensive. Graphic cards are getting more expensive, and they're gonna get more expensive after. So now I'm like, should I wait? But I don't think my computer will live long enough, or should I buy a new one? Yeah. So yeah, I don't know about Nvidia, man. Like, all I know is that right now, technically, we have a couple of things that just in technically point of view, we have a couple of things that right now it looks like we have some bullish momentum right now. But like I said, if we do have negative results during Nvidia earnings, I'm fine if the market is going lower for so many reasons. There is plenty of liquidity at the bottom. I'm fine. I'm reacting to what we have at the moment. At the moment, like I said before, FVG, internal liquidity out, FVG, breaker block. So I would say it's just for this, just for now. That's why I'm looking for some long. Just 2 seconds. So yeah, so that's what I'm looking for. But yeah, right now, yeah, this 5 minute is we are losing some momentum. We are losing some momentum. And gold. Someone said gold. Listen, gold at the moment, I would say it's all about timing. Okay, timing. Right now, we know that we should be having some bearish momentum coming. Okay, but you guys doesn't need to go to the sell as quick. Okay, you don't need to go as quick as we did on Monday. Okay, right now there is nothing that is allowing us to sell again, except potentially this area. Okay, so I would say just wait a little bit more until the market is coming to us, because if the market is not coming to us, let's not force it. But right now I'm not gonna take a long. No way, I'm not gonna take a long. Yes, we took this liquidity where makes sense. Yes, that's why we have this bullish momentum going in. We are interacting with this 4,610 institutional level. Yes, makes sense. Yeah, I agree. However, the bigger picture is that on Monday, we've started to see a slowdown of momentum. On Tuesday, we've took out some early sellers. Now we have the real sellers. And today, we are confirming the sellers. If we are, I want us to be the best sheep ever. Don't be the lion in the market. Be the best sheep ever. And let's try to sell again tomorrow and then and Friday. So that's why no rush on getting this position on gold right now. The good timing that we got was NAS, which I think I may secure a little bit. You know what? You know what? No, I'm gonna hold. I'm gonna hold. I'm gonna hold. What do you guys think? But liquidity is also present the downside. Exactly, Spar. Basically, I'm conscious on NAS that I'm part of the early buyers, but that doesn't mean that I cannot take some money out of the market. That's the thing. A lot of people are so brain root on the fact that liquidity, oh, wait for the liquidity, wait. And they wait so long that at the end, they can't take any trades. My point behind is that it's fine. You guys wait. I would rather try to take a trade, but being conscious that I'm part of these early buyers and early sellers. And potentially from there, at least get some money from the market. I will hold personally, Sammy. Anyone else says I'm lagging, doesn't want to know it. Maybe it's Krishna lagging, but if you guys see that we are all lagging, yeah, let me know. Let me know. Oh, I think Krishna is laggy totally.
What are you saying? Am I here? Am I good? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I think your camera is out, my friend. Where are you leaving, bro?
Camera's out.
Yeah.
Bro, my camera should be calm. Let me see.
Why are you leaving to not have 5G?
What are you talking about? I've got 6G. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Do you know what I was just thinking now as well? Let me pull that narrative shit to the side for a second. Let me show you guys actually a trade that I was looking at today on GU.
Oh yeah, those guys love. Listen, those guys.
Let me.
Those guys, they love.
Let me show you guys what
we take trades. Just give them signals. They're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, Krishna. Oh my goodness, you've made me so much money,
shit,
Krishna."
bro.
Yeah. They're gonna be like, "This."
Unfortunately, well, to be fair, after that reaction, it might be fortunate that the trade didn't actually fucking tag me in. If I was gonna get reactions like that, holy shit. But listen, I had we came up above this high. We came above this 3-month high. We had liquidity taken to the upside. We had lows being engineered towards the downside, and I was very, very, very keen actually to be a seller in this area, especially if you look at the daily time frame above these highs, right? For the last couple of days, we had inside bars, I think is the technical term for them, where the lows and the highs were all within that Friday's candle. You know what I'm trying to say? And then Monday was within that, and then Tuesday was also within that. So we had liquidity building both to above these highs and below these lows. Now, I had already wanting to be short. So it wasn't so much as if price goes below the lows, I'm going to buy. And if price goes above the highs, I'm going to sell. I was very much confident that I wanted to sell above the highs. Now, here's another little thing as well that I will say that is different to what I used to do. Previously, I would have this daily high marked out and I would wait for price to come in. I would be alert. I would have an alert there, sorry. And then I would wait on those micro timeframes to look for a confirmation entry to get that risk reward. There's nothing wrong with that. But for me now, all I had there was a simple limit. And this is something interesting that I want to talk to you guys about, yeah, in terms of how I trade now. Because when you get away from those smaller time frames and when you get over to those intraday time frames, like, you know, taking entries from daily highs and having a stop above here, your risk reward as far as where your targets are, because my targets is going to be these daily lows, you know, risk reward can be like a 1 to 2 sometimes. But the thing is, if your narrative is strong and if your trade idea is strong, there's nothing that is, you know, the 1% risk that's a very industry standard is not set in stone. You can risk 1.5%. If your strat is, if you've got the data to support your strat, you can risk 1.5%. You can risk 1.75. You can risk 2%. And all of a sudden, what would have otherwise been 2R is still 2R relative to what you risk. But in terms of the money that you make off of it, it's equivalent to a 4R if you had taken 1% risk on a 1 to 4. Does that kind of make sense? So that was my plan today. Obviously, price was teasing. It actually came up in Asia last time. What Noah was saying about Asia session, sometimes Asia session is so clean. Obviously, currency is a bit different, but sometimes Asia session will tag you in and stuff like that. But anyways, we teased the entry. We didn't quite get it. But ultimately the short worked and we traded off into those lows. So that was a trade I was looking at. Hopefully getting into today. And getting a little 1 to 2. I believe it was just under a 1 to 2, or just a 1 to 2. Sorry. And moving forward, it's a Wednesday. We've got a couple days left till the week is over. And once that happens, we're going to have this weekly candle print here. And what I will be looking at, obviously, if this weekly high stays here, we're going to have 2 weekly highs that are stacked in a way. I think, again, the technical term for it would be a low resistance liquidity run. We're going to have those highs stacked in that manner. And depending on where that weekly low prints, I will most definitely have an alert at that weekly low and be looking for a potential accumulation below that weekly low to get up to these weekly highs. That's my take on price so far. However, I will also say that the lower we get, So for example, you see all of these lows here. I would never want to buy in close proximity above these lows. These are all here for the taking. So I'm definitely interested in a sell or a dish. Honestly, if this sell played today, if I got tagged in today, I think it would have had legs. I think it would have been beautiful. But let me see if I can...
Oh yeah, someone said in the chat, do you see DXY chart as well before taking a trade or before making a narrative?
I honestly, I don't. The only thing I look at is the GBP USD chart. Obviously, as I said, there was a time where, when you experiment, when you're trying to learn and when you're trying to see what works and see what doesn't. I did have a go, but it was just another moving part. If it isn't clear already, for me, trading simplicity is the one thing that I'm after. And so with adding something like DXY, I'm, again, not to say that it's wrong to have it, not to say that it won't help you or it can't help you if you do it right. But for me, it was another moving part. So no, only the GBP USD chart. That's the only thing I look at. Only price action. Only price action.
Okay.
That's it. But yeah, I was having a look to see.
Do you also check euro as a correlated pair?
Nothing. Only GU. The thing is, I feel like almost wrong for saying that, because being in this industry and seeing what most people get up to and what most people do, checking the DXY, checking the Euro chart seems like a very standard practice. But it isn't. Just because people get up to it and people do well with it, that doesn't mean that's something you can't do well without, if that makes sense. So even though I feel kind of wrong saying that I don't do it, because I feel like maybe I'm meant to do it, there's nothing wrong with it. I don't do it. I literally only look at this one chart. Yeah, that was my most recent trade idea. My trade volume is a lot lower than it used to be.
So if you can tell, like someone on the TikTok asked, if you can, like, what's the name of your strategy? Like, what is that ICT? Is it like?
No, I wouldn't say it's ICT. I also wouldn't know, because look, I'm the type. I might be an anomaly in this space, because I do not consume a lot of trading content on my social media, so I wouldn't even be up to date with certain terminologies and certain names. But yeah, I highly doubt that it's ICT. For me, it's very simple. I use candle highs and candle lows. I know that the market can only either go up, down, or temporarily move sideways. You can either buy or you can either sell. And if you can find a way to consistently buy low and sell high, then I don't personally have a name for it, but that's all I'm saying. Because even if you look at this chart here, forgetting all of the technical terms and all of those things, leaving all that to the side, why have I chosen to sell at this high? Because relative to price action in this area, that is a relatively high point in the market. Why am I happy to have my stop loss above this high? Because this high has already liquidated this high. This is all local price action. This is your major liquidation from the left, which is a 3-month high. This is your local liquidation. This is where, again, if you want to use certain terms, early sellers are likely to get caught out in this area here, selling from these areas here. So you wait for your local liquidation. You have your bearish intent, which is essentially the market saying that there is a reason for us to go lower in all of these daily lows that printed over here. Okay, and then you have a relatively high point in the market to sell. It's very, very simple. It's very, very simple. Okay. So yeah. Perfect. Any other questions? I am gonna have to log off soon, so I would love to answer any queries or any questions. I'm sure I'm gonna be back here soon, because this is actually pretty enjoyable.
So someone said bro, your screen is frozen. No, his screen is actually not frozen, bro. If you check the timer, you can see the time is moving. He's just into a 1 hour time frame.
Yeah. That's the thing, man. You guys are definitely a lot more used to something like this. You know, on the 5 minute,
But-
seeing constant movement. This is
Yeah, but because the thing is, like, I think so basically because and that is actually, this is where I see what you're saying is not bullshit, because I see the people that says bullshit, because I've been consuming content for years and I've been working with different influencers, and everything is just based on making content to make sure that we have views and affirmation from others and having more sponsorships and having more of etc. But at the end of the day, the one thing that you've been consistent is that you've been trading. Like, even at that time, you were very quiet. You were very into your niche. Even in social media, you were very into your niche. I remember even at the Viper time, you were doing like case studies, and you were literally doing everything that I love in a person, which is fuck the socials. Just be on your corner, doing research, share your research, see what people say, and trying to find logical things and trying to find more. And if it's boring, it's boring, because at the end of the day, who gives a fuck about entertaining and making sure that people loves me if you're not making money from trading? Because if you don't make money from trading, you're just a fake ass person.
I appreciate that. I think it's important. I think that's why I started with saying what I was saying is that I might be an anomaly as far as this trading space goes, because the trading is optimized to me specifically. You know what I'm trying to say?
How do you say, why do you say that trading is optimized for you? Like, what you have is optimized for you. Why?
Because it matches my risk appetite, it matches my personality, all of the inputs into what I want my strategy to be, right? In terms of daily highs, and then potential. The lowest I will go is the 1 hour chart. You know what I'm trying to say? Picking those time frames.
So question is, because how did you know your risk appetite? How did you know that like, this is where you can handle the stress, the emotion, the dopamine, etc.? Like, how did you know, like, the level?
It's an interesting question, because I think when it comes to something like that, I don't think I'll ever be able to put a finger on a certain moment or a certain time and date where, you know, this is where things change for me. Things like that, or decisions like that, they find you. You know what I'm trying to say? You come to realize one day that, or it's either that or it happens via a process. So for me, it was understanding that I want to trade less, because that's how I would like to trade at my peak, because you're never really at your peak, you know. Then mixed with the conversation I had with that coder, who said that really the only way to automate a strategy is to remove all discretion. And so via that couple of weeks of process and random different things happening, you come to this one conclusion, or I came to this one conclusion of, let me just get off of these micro time frames. Let me focus on taking 1 or 2 or 3 good high quality trades a month that consistently land me between 3 and 5%, and call it there. And this is the interesting thing. I think I was only able to make that decision for myself because I do not consume so much of this trading content where, you know, if it's not glorified, it's not worth it. You know, 3 to 5% is very difficult to glorify. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's true.
And so it's like what you were saying. I don't care if it's boring or not. I'd rather it be boring, you know. I'd rather it be boring than have my emotions constantly like this, you know. But yeah,
true.
But yeah.
Okay, well. Earlier, I only see your the day I started using it a lot. Okay, NQ. Yeah, NQ is back to in the range. Yeah. We're gonna watch this after. Okay, let's go back to NQ, boys. We're gonna see Krishna because he's going to leave quite soon, but hopefully with better internet.
Yeah. I'm gonna sort my tech out, and the next time.
Sort your shit out, Krishna, because we want to see you in a high quality beauty.
You know what, bro? I'll be there, bro. I'll be there. Next time I'm on here, I will no longer be coming like one caveman. And I'll be here with better tech. But listen, I enjoyed this. Listen to the chat. I appreciate the 1-2 questions at the end. let me answer in a bit more fluid manner. It's much better than just having to talk at a screen. So thank you for that. Appreciate the patience as well with the shitty tech. Thank you, Noah. And yeah, I'll catch you guys soon, man. I'll catch you guys soon. I'm gonna log off. Any final questions? Then feel free to shoot them now. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys next time.
Yes, sir. Take care,
cool,
bro.
Perfect. Take it easy, man. Take it easy.
Okay, boys. Well, listen. This NAS is doing what I said before, which is totally makes sense. I said this before. I said this to you guys. It's either I close a little bit early, which is I did. I closed a little bit early because I was not very happy with the 15 minutes, this one, because this is an engulfing candle. So now it's a question of how the half an hour candlestick is going to look like. So let's see. But the potential new entry should be here. The potential new entry should be here. So the good thing is I've secured $1,000, which is less than 1%, which is fine. It is what it is. But I'm gonna see if I'm gonna get another entry. I'm gonna see if I'm gonna get another entry. But this bastard is taking the piss right now. This bastard is taking the piss right now. Let's see. Boom. Okay. So my last entry is out. So potentially this could be another entry. Let's see. Okay. So we're gonna give it a moment. Krishna, yeah, Krishna is a vibe, man. Honestly, Krishna is a vibe. I will hold. Sami, you know you want me to hold because you are in a bad position right now. But I need to pay food for my son and jewelry and new clothes to my wife. So I don't know if I'm gonna hold. Okay, come on. So now I just want to see one engulfing candle. Come on, reject, because this 30 minutes looks bad, but let's see. We may have another entry, boys. Wow. Am I laggy? Damn, that was so laggy. Damn, that was so laggy. My goodness, what happened to my computer? So laggy. Okay, this will be my last attempt. And if this bad boy doesn't want, it is fine. At least I've took some profit today, which is most important. She likes that Indian gold. Your stream is laggy. No, I think I don't know, because I took the when I took the long, it took me like 4 or 5 seconds to make it happen, but I don't know, but it should be fine. Blaming on Krishna. Good probability to respect the BPR. If it's invalidated, will not be easy. No, it should be let's see. Honestly, the 30 minutes is Fucking hell. Yeah. It should be fine. It should be fine. Somehow, I'm gonna leave it where it was initially. Yeah, we can play safe. We can put it here. Let me see if there is a reason for us. Okay. There is some reason in here. So we're gonna play it safe. We're gonna put this one here, and now we see. The only thing is that I'm gonna put my initial other TP here and here. This will be the two first TP, and we're gonna see the rest after. I'm not interested on claiming this new this high yet. I'm not interested on this for now. Guys, no, I bet $100 to get a stop loss. Yay! Not today. Not today. Now, in any way, even if right now I'm having a stop loss, to be honest, I've made so much profit this week that I don't really mind. I don't really mind. If I didn't make profit from gold last night, and I mean close this morning, I would be a bit annoyed, but right now I'm fine. The only thing that I've seen is Reese is looking for long. Reese is looking for a long on gold. He put let me double check the Discord for you. He put a buy limit around there. Okay. He added a buy limit here. My G, why are you doing this? I don't know, man. But let's see. All I want to see now is this is a good engulfing 5-minute candle. If we have a good 5-minute engulfing candle, we will be good. If we don't, I may put myself in break even just to make sure that I'm not in a shitty position, and put myself in break even a little bit more earlier than usual. Oh, Nicholas is here. All right, bring Nicholas on the stream, Mr. Venet. Why are you letting our guests outside the door? Are you can I hear you? Oh wait. No. It's gonna be on Vinit, I think. Let's put the announcements. His audio is coming to the stream. Wait. Am I stupid? Bring him back, please. Yeah, 2 seconds. Vinit is bringing you back. I can hear you, yeah, but... Okay, try again. Is that our producer is drinking alcohol while he's working, but we can't hear him. Do you guys hear Nicholas? No. Yes, I won. I swear. Vinit is drinking right now. No, his audio is gone. There we go. Yeah, it's fine. Stay here. At least we can see your face until Vinit is fixing on OBS. But yeah, we're gonna do the giveaway. Damn. Oh yeah. People think the giveaway is in Discord. Let me tell them that he's on the stream. Until we can fix the issue with the mic. And during that time, if you can, Vinit, if you can share my screen. It's a super close-up of him too, but that's fine. He's a good-looking guy. So if we have a close, we are actually lucky to have a close-up of him sleeping dolphin bastard. We are lucky. Just leave it like it is. It's fine. We want him to be more closer and get and having like no shirt and stuff.
I don't know. I'm not sure why they can't hear me. Man, you know, at least on Restream we're working.
Ah, they can hear you again.
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome.
Ah, nice. Wait. Okay. Wait. And I have a personal beef with someone in the chat. Ewan, I don't need to give you 100. The market is going back up. Why are you saying that I need to give you? I didn't got a stop loss. I took some profit. Not too much, but I did. And now the market is going back up. Actually, you should giving me money because I'm making you money. I should actually take some fees. Yeah, but I would say, joke apart, just to be a little bit more serious and not being retarded. Just if you're into this trade like me right now, we try again. We're gonna trust this 1 hour candle that looks bullish. We're gonna put this one in break even early, and like I said, we're gonna wait for the 15-minute candle to close. If we close like an engulfing, hopefully this will give us a better opportunity to long NAS, and we keep the long until those two levels. Those two. If not, honestly, there is plenty of liquidity at the bottom. It means that we are part of the early buyers, which is fine. Honestly, the narrative is fine for us. If this is part of the early buyers, it's fine. It means that we're gonna have a bigger trade after. Okay, this one is the baby trade, the little one. We are part of the early buyers. We are conscious for it, so we don't want to have a big TP. But if we have a big TP on this one, great. If not, we have a second chance after. How a time frame selling looks like? I don't know, man. I'm quite 50-50 right now on the, because if we check the daily, yesterday was pretty bullish. Yesterday, not like super bullish, but still we've lost the momentum of Monday. Monday was bearish engulfing candle, bros, guys. And the day after, gone. The bearish engulfing candle is gone. You see? So that's why I'm like, wait, maybe we're not that bearish yet. I do believe that we are part of the early buyers. I really believe that. So that's why don't be so cheesy today on getting a high TP. Take what you can, like I did. If I can close my trade at around like 500 USD dollar profit, I will be making 1% today. I'm happy about it. Tonight we have earnings. Based on that, we will have the best move after. But yeah, finishing with this, let's do the giveaways. So we have Mr. Nicholas from Market AI.
How's it going, everybody? You can still hear me, right?
Yes.
Perfect. Well, so guys, I am the head of partnerships here at Market AI. First off, I wanted to thank everybody for the continued support on our segment of, Chart Fanatics Live. We've seen the support in the chats, with everybody coming on, whether it's Kev, Imri, whether it's Lab coming on, whether it's Seb coming on, doesn't matter. You guys have showed a lot of love to our platform, and we really, really, really appreciate that. We put a lot of work into this platform to make it the best that it could be. So we wanted to do a little giveaway here with you guys. Udo, how do you want to do this? You want to just pick someone up from the chat, do a spin?
So how many? So what the giveaway?
It's going to be a month subscription for free of market.
I think so. One thing, boys, on the chat, okay? Don't be like, oh, it's not a 50K account or it's not a 25K account. Honestly, the market AI software website and all the things that you can do behind is 100% worth it. You guys say, oh, TradeZilla is worth it, blah, blah, blah. It's the same with market AI. I've been looking into it recently because it's our partners. So obviously we need to do a couple of things on our side. And I was like very happy on what I've been seeing on market AI. So just don't be dickhead. Don't be like, oh, I'm not gonna make profit from it. I would say more you get data, more you get knowledge, more you have a better edge with the market. At the end of the day, this is two different things. So okay, Vinit said that the way that we can have people, but how many people can win?
So we're gonna do one. It'll be like one every giveaway. We'll just do one giveaway.
One. Okay, so what we do is that we do one market AI, and after we can do the rest. Okay, so what we're gonna do is in the chat, boys, you are going to put this again. No point of spamming like a crazy guy. Okay, just going chill. Go like civilized. One time only. No need to spam it. Okay, 3, 2, 1. This one. Oh, and you have also 20% off with the code.
Yeah,
CF.
remember, use code CF, 20% off on market. Exclusive discount for it.
But so tell them, because there is some people who doesn't know about market AI and they are like, maybe they're going to the website and they're checking. I know we have streams. I know. By the way, we have stream with market AI team 1 hour before market open. Very important. If you guys wanna understand what is market AI, there is literally a stream every day from Tuesday to Thursday, 1 hour before New York Open. And you know what, guys? You can rewatch some of the recorded stream in our YouTube channel if you want to have if you want to have a look today or right now.
Yeah, honestly, that's a great idea. I would definitely tune back into those, the recordings of our sessions. I mean, our guys put a lot of knowledge out there, especially on the fundamental side. Obviously, a lot of people, don't go too deep into the fundamental side, but that's kind of why we built market, right? Like, obviously, understanding fundamentals, understanding the macros, very difficult. But where we designed market to make that a lot easier for everyone to understand, and then also, make everything, all the information that you have access to now, a lot more actionable.
Yeah.
Definitely tune into the sessions. I mean, our guys drop a lot of knowledge, for that full hour. So, I mean, you guys are going to pick up a lot of things.
And one thing is also, I have 2 points on this. The point number 1, guys, is you want to be the best trader in the world. Don't do like the 90% of the worst trader. Do the thing that people doesn't want to do, which is understanding and learning about fundamentals. Honestly, you will look more smarter, because honestly, when you go to a family dinner and you're like, oh, I'm a trader, you look like a stupid person. Okay, so if you come and say, what's going on the stock market, my shares are going lower and lower, and this is where now you can say that, hey, I'm a trader and I know what is happening. Now you look more smarter. And the other one, guys, is in a technical point of view, and that's me, my strategy only. Some others will have something more to say, but for my case, is every time when there is a big news, it's a point of liquidity for me. Okay, so FOMC, interest rate, any Trump strategic tweet, every time it's a massive, mostly in the 5-minute time frame, it's a massive point of liquidity. We can speak about this next week a little bit more by showing you like some examples, and even in the Discord, guys, I will tag you on. But every time when there is a news, we have this big candle. Few hours after, a few days after, we go back to those level, reclaim those level, and after this we have the real move. That's what I call the liquidity news. So if you guys can have this edge, understand that, look more smarter also, it's better. Honestly, it's way much better.
Yeah, and then even more important, this week we have Jackson Hole Symposium coming up on Friday. That is a huge event. I mean, if you could just backtest, and we have a great fundamental backtesting software on our platform, but you can go backtest last year's Jackson Hole Symposium when Powell completely flipped everything on its head, and really started discussing now rate cuts, the possibility of rate cuts, and that's what really started that gold rally, like into the all-time highs, the 50, 200, 50, 300 around, well, actually 5,500 to the highs. So I mean, now this Friday, it's a very important event. Sorry for the background noise if you guys hear that.
That's fine.
It's a very important event. This is Kevin Warsh's first Jackson Hole Symposium, and I think we're going to get a sense of really what his policy tone is going to be. So pay attention to that. And with market, you guys have a plethora of different features and different tools within the platform to really help you digest this info and take advantage of it in real time. So whoever gets this giveaway, you're gonna be in for a treat for sure.
But you know what? I should be using it also on the stream, because I've realized that I'm not using it. So next time, because I'm literally using it every day. So it's stupid that. But I think it's because I'm sharing my. I've been streaming on my MacBook, so I'm sharing my training view and not my overall like my entire screen.
You can use if you use Google Chrome on TradingView, we have the Market Chrome extension. So that's another tool. They could just have market right on your TradingView chart. It's huge.
Okay, okay. Now you know how to talk to me, huh?
Yeah. Listen, we got everything. If you want market directly on your charts, because unfortunately we don't have live futures data at the moment because of it's just overly expensive. What they charge, but we created that Chrome extension for, any of our futures trader could actually have market directly on their screen, see the headlines, see the calendar in real time, everything in real time as they're seeing their price action in real time on TradingView as well. So we created that, for everybody to have access to it, not just our CFD traders, but our futures traders as well.
Nice. Mr. Venet, if you can give me the name and we're going to select the winner. Wait, so how are we going to do it?
I'll have a code. So if they could just reach out to you guys, and then I'll send you guys the code so you can give it to them.
No, I was more thinking of, I think we're going to do the dock race.
Okay.
Yeah, so Mr. Venet, if you can share me. Oh my goodness, wait a second, because I have a lot of Wi-Fi has been on my computer all night yesterday to buy some new, because my son is going to school for the first time on Monday. So there is a lot of,
man.
Yeah,
huge.
I'm not happy about this, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not happy, but I have a lot of links on top that I need to make sure I'm not. Wait, let me do it. This dock race. Yes. Okay. Boom. Tack. Window. Boom. Boom. That's fine. Name. Okay, nice. Open in incognito. Oh, it's fine. Yeah, there's a lot of names. Boom. Edit list. Done. So we're gonna do 1 minute. No, one minute. That's fine. And after this, we will do Apex and TradeZilla and stuff. But you know what? Actually, no, we're not gonna do that. I will do a bigger giveaway this weekend. We're just gonna do market AI. Okay, so I really hope that one of the OGs will win this time.
I love this, man. This is like the perfect way to pick out a name. We should start doing this too.
Yeah, because I see leave you at the bottom.
Is
I
that
see
an
Pam.
OG?
Yeah, here's an OG.
Yeah.
But let's see. Let's see. I'm trying to find some names. Oh no, leave you is gone. Listen, you see, leave you is
Whoa.
gone. Oh, so. Oh, let me check my trade actually also. Oh, my trade is going back up, which is fine. First TP is first almost. We are almost gonna reach the first TP, boys. By the way, so just keep in mind if you're into this trade, just don't be greedy.
Oh, there we go.
So-
we have a winner.
We have a winner. However, this winner needs to come in the group, in the chat, and say hello. Otherwise, we do it again.
Someone else, yes, sir.
The only thing is I don't have access to the chat. Chat is here. Okay, now I have access. My duck is not there. Mo? Ah, MMMMMM is here.
There he is.
Awesome. So congratulations. I'm gonna say, Venit, if you can tag me in the Discord, okay? Create a ticket. Create a ticket. And I'm gonna follow up with you because I wanna see your feedback and what you think about it. But I do believe, Nicholas, that we have one giveaway now every week about Market AI, or am I?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we're gonna do one a week for sure, and we can keep it the same day if you want. We can do Wednesday, Tuesday, whatever. But we're gonna do one a week.
Vibes. Okay,
Yes, sir.
I take it.
All right, my friend.
Well, in this note, TP has been touched. Congratulations. Wait, I have this duck in the background. 2 seconds. Boom. Congratulations. This is another second TP. I would say just take the profit. Take it. Don't be greedy, bastard. Take the profit. Congratulations. I will do another giveaway, guys, in the Discord. Because I actually something will I will do a Discord. Yeah, I will just I will do in Discord. Don't worry, guys. I actually I haven't done a giveaway last Monday, so I have a lot of giveaways actually. So it's fine. But yeah, good job. I'm gonna close this trade. Boom. One. So we're 1% up today, which is amazing. I'm happy about it. I'm gonna now see what's gonna happen tonight, and tomorrow I will share, if there is something to share in the Discord, another trade. But yeah, Nicholas, thank you for joining.
Appreciate
the stream,
you,
man.
my friend. Thank you for having me on. And I'll go ahead and send you that so you can send it to the winner. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, my friend. Take care, guys. Thank you, everyone, for your continued support again. All right. Really appreciate it.
Yes. Thank you, boys. Bye-bye. Venit, I need to leave now because I have 30 minutes to finish the carousel. I will come back after. If you have anything to ask me, let's just send me a message on WhatsApp. Yeah, sorry. I want. Yeah, I need to go to the barber. Finish Charles Academy carousel because they've got a meeting with some partners.